We used to live in a world with very uneven distribution of knowledge. Access to expertise was limited by geography, cost, and time. AI has collapsed the cost of acquiring knowledge across many domains. Consider a few examples. Medical information that once required years of training is now accessible through AI-assisted tools. Legal research that used to demand expensive paralegal hours can be accelerated with AI. Language learning no longer requires a private tutor. You can practice with an AI anytime. And in our own field, coding tutorials, documentation, and even implementation help that used to take years to master are now available at a fraction of the effort. The gatekeeping that many professions relied on is being dismantled. That is the big shift we are living through. Why does the software industry feel this impact before others? 3 reasons. First, we have always been an innovative industry. We are comfortable experimenting with new tools and adopting them quickly. Other sectors often prefer the familiar. Second, our work is language-based. Code is text. Specifications are text. Documentation is text. AI excels at language, so our domain is a natural fit. Third, our information is highly structural. We have formal syntax, automation pipelines, sophisticated version control, and well-defined interfaces. All of that is ready for AI to consume and produce. We are not fighting against unstructured reality. We work in a world that is already organized for machines. That is why software feels it first. Let's talk about the evidence. Not everyone has figured this out, how to use AI effectively yet. It is reported that a good percentage of corporate AI projects have failed. But what nobody is talking about enough is that some of them did succeed, and those organizations will learn from those experiences. We will only see more and more successful cases over time. Meta quantified this in their January 2026 earnings call. Since 2025, they have seen a 30% increase in output per engineer, with the majority of that growth coming from agentic coding, and there was a big jump in Q4. Power users of AI coding tools saw an 80% year-over-year output increase. They expect this growth to accelerate through the next half. The productivity gain is real. The question is not whether it is happening, but how fast it will spread. Many assumptions that our industry was built on are no longer valid. Software is no longer labor-intensive in the same way. Coding speed is no longer the bottleneck. Yet a lot of what we do, the skills we hire for, the process we follow, some of the rules we believed firmly, are still based on those old assumptions. Some of the skills that got engineers high pay can now be achieved with a fraction of the cost and effort. Andrej Karpathy put it well, "I've never felt this far behind as a programmer. The bits contributed by the programmer are increasingly sparse and in between. New skills are required. The game has changed." The software industry is at a blockbuster moment. Just as streaming upended video rentals, AI is upending our traditional development processes. The winners will be those who adopt quickly and leverage AI to speed development, reduce costs, and raise quality. Complacency could be fatal. This is not a drill. The shift is happening now. How do people respond when their profession is upended? Professionals who had a monopoly on knowledge are now being reevaluated or repriced. What got them here and what they believed in are fundamentally challenged. It takes time for most to accept. That is human. But for those who see it and adapt quickly, it is a huge opportunity. The key is to recognize which side of that divide you want to be on. You can easily find lots of denial in LinkedIn posts and other media. The pattern is familiar. People pick negatives about AI stupidities and make fun of them. The irony is that software engineers know it is not realistic to assume software has no bugs, and we know that bugs will be fixed one day. Yet some still point at AI mistakes as proof that nothing has changed. Then they go back to normal work as if nothing happens. That is denial. Feels safe, but it does not change the reality. History is full of resistance to technological change. In 1903, when Henry Ford's lawyer Horace Rackham was considering investing in the automobile company, a leading banker advised him, "The horse is here to stay, but the automobile is only a novelty, a fad." Rackham ignored the advice, invested $5,000, and eventually sold for $12.5 million. The banker was wrong. In the 1970s, Ken Olsen, founder of Digital Equipment Corporation, said there was no reason anyone would want a computer in their home. Thomas Watson reportedly said the world market was for maybe 5 computers. The Luddites of the early 1800s smashed textile machinery because they saw it as a threat to their livelihoods, and in some ways they were right. The technology won anyway. The pattern repeats. Resistance is natural, but technology does not wait for comfort. When productivity increases, what happens to demand? There are 2 types of goods and services. First, demand will not increase or will only increase marginally. Think of food. You can only eat so much even if you want higher quality when it becomes more affordable. Second, demand will increase. Think of clothes. Most people in developed countries have excessive clothes in our closets. When something gets cheaper or easier, we want more of it. The question for us is, which category does software fall into? Software will most likely fall into the second category. Demand will increase. AI allows us to build software that used to be financially impractical or needed huge resources, but is now becoming feasible. Custom tools, personalized applications, niche products that were never worth building before. They are now within reach. More software will be built, not less. The question is what that means for the people who build it. It does not necessarily mean higher demand for software engineering skills. After all, some software engineering did get a lot easier. But here are things to consider. Coding is not the only activity in software engineering. If we produce more software quickly, does that mean it can be maintained with fewer people? Or do we just play different roles using different skills? Division of labor still has benefits. Across the industry, do you see your company building its own HR or payroll software even if you have enough programmers? Probably not. Within a company, will most companies end up with only 1 or 0 employees? Will the CEO be doing all the vibe coding? And will we see demand for software engineering skills from traditionally non-technical companies? That is an open question. I do not have all the answers, but these are the right questions to ask. When we see layoffs, it helps to understand which scenario we are in. Case 1, financial needs. Layoffs will happen anyway. AI just gives them a very good excuse. The company was in trouble before AI entered the picture. Case 2, refocus. It is not purely financial, but cost-cutting is still attractive and the company sees new growth opportunities with AI. Maybe they need different skill sets and investment in new projects. This is a refocus effort. It is painful, but it has a direction. Case 3, conservative. It is not financial, cost-cutting is still good, but the company does not notice any new opportunities with AI. Nothing you can do about it there, but perhaps you do not want to work there anyway. A company that cannot see the opportunity is not where you want to bet your career. Adaptation requires real adjustments. Forget some of what you are proud of that got you here. Your elite code ability, memorizing known solutions and reciting them in a 15-minute session, is less valuable now. Reevaluate your strengths and weaknesses and work on them. Accept the reality and move on. Do what is more valuable now. Perhaps some of it is what you used to look down on. The true meaning of adaptation is about not giving up too soon. There is still a lot to do before our sun becomes a red giant. The game is not over. It is just different. Other than the new technical skills that emerged recently, there are other qualities that are getting more important as coding speed increases. Learn the new AI skills required to work well with AI, but also invest in the human qualities that cannot be automated: judgment, communication, ownership, and the ability to work with others. Those will matter more, not less. The high-return opportunities go beyond incremental improvements. Use the time saved by AI to tackle strategic challenges, develop innovative products and services, and explore ideas previously considered out of reach. This is a rare moment when the technology gate is wide open and the public have not yet fully recognized it. People and companies who realize this opportunity will be more competitive than ever. Do not miss it. I will leave you with a quote from Marie Curie. "Nothing in life is to be feared, it is only to be understood. Now is the time to understand more, so that we may fear less." We are living through a historic shift. The right response is not fear or denial. It is understanding and then action. Good luck with your choice.